I've been on a goal here in survival Minecraft. It all started right here on this small island. The border island is just the entrance to our city because we have keeps, sludge factories in an old temple, a enchanted grove, and then as we head inside of the city, we have what is my favorite build so far. Through the southern entrance, we head inside towards the market square. You see, this is all part of my vision for this world, and this is what we've built so far in survival Minecraft in building with KC. But today, I don't want to stop there, because if we head out the market square to the west, you can see that there just really isn't anything here. So I want to accomplish two things with that space. The first thing is to move the deep storage from down here and put it in its own unique and personal building. And the second is to tackle something that I did in an earlier episode. You see, I built these two farms right here, which are our ingot farms, but they don't quite work as well as I would like them to, so I want to relocate them closer to the city and set up two new buildings to not only mine the ores and give us access to raw ores, but also to process those ores into ingots so we have a truly unlimited supply of pretty much any resource that we want to get. Now I am trying to turn this hobby into a full-time job, so if you could please like the video and subscribe, it would really help out the channel. And also drop me a comment and let me know some things that I might want to build in the near future in this world, because I only have a limited imagination that's unlimited, but it is also limiting. You see how that gets about? Anyway, without any further ado, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get into the episode. So the way that I want to set this up, and I don't know if I can do this or not because I've never tried it before, but I want to set up an ME storage system here that is linked up to deep storage units. Now that much I know I can do, I've done that before. But I want to somehow link one ME system to the other ME system. So I want to link this one up to our main one over there. And I might even have two ME systems here depending on how much deep storage that we need. But I don't know if it's possible to link up two ME systems. I think it is using like a quantum entanglement chamber or something like that. I've done a little bit of research and I think that will work, but I'm not 100% certain. But even before I can get there, I don't have the buildings down, so I think I need to get some sort of footprint in. So step one has been achieved. We got the footprint for the first one in place, and we've got the footprint for the second one in place. Now I need to kind of start thinking about how these things are going to look on the map. I like the size of them. They're actually quite big and chunky. I want them to feel like they are a storage house, like they are a warehouse. And so I've got an idea for kind of like the roof that I want to put on this place. I think the roof's going to look really nice. But for here, I've got some thinking to do. Time to go scratch my head a bit. And just like that, we have created something that's simple, but also gives me the feel I'm wanting to go for. I like it so far. I like this basalt cobblestone. I think it looks really, really nice. Of course, there's a lot more to do here. And with a little bit of building, we've got a foundation in place. Man, I love this basalt cobblestone. I said that in the last clip, didn't I? I just really, really like it. This street is starting to feel closed in, like it's an actual street and not floating in the sky, which is what a lot of our city feels like. We've got this in place. We're going to have a doorway sort of here. And then we're going to go all the way over here. We're going to have another doorway entering into this one right here. I think this will be more than enough deep storage inside. And we're going to sort of smooth the outside over in a bit. But I think the next bit that I want to kind of work on is this side right here. I've been doing some thinking and I've got an idea. But it's got to come to fruition, you know. I've got to, do a jump cut and then it'll be done. Like that. So 1, 2, 3, and jump cut. Check that out. The editing skills are amazing. And I want to talk about something that I've decided for the city. Look at this balloon. Looks so nice. Looks so, so lovely. You get kind of like hints of it up there. I think that's going to be really, really good. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. Because I have been thinking about the architectural style of this city. And I want this architectural style of the city to feel very similar, but also everything is unique. So we've kind of got similar colors going on with this, and they keep in terms of the limestone and the granite. But I'm thinking another architect that we're going to use, like imagine that there's an architect who's, designing all this, and it's not just me sat behind a camera, is like trademark or her trademark, their trademark, is going to be a layer of color just up above there. And that way we can use a lot of the like gold and iron and diamond and emerald blocks just peeking up there like that. So each building might have its own unique color that this person designed. And then we can repeat this kind of like design, this top bit anyway, this top like 1 block design on other builds. And it can be that architect's trademark. I just like that idea. But now we've got this in place. And what I've done around here, if you've noticed, it looks like these windows have been filled in, which is exactly what I want. You've got to remember, there isn't going to be a road here. So what I think this is going to be is probably just an alleyway that you can walk down. The building on this corner is going to come very, very close to this building. It's going to be a very tight squeeze going down there, which is what I want. I want to create like a lot of interconnected buildings, but also having them be sort of separated so you can walk between them. So I'm not going to waste time putting any windows on there or anything that's really going to just get covered up, really. I want it to feel cramped, closed in, not very much light, and we've established that here. Now the next thing I need to do is work on the top. Would you look at that? I did it on the other side. I did a thing. Now we do more things with more things. And one final thing. Next, I want to come in about 3 blocks from the edge, bringing up these oak pillars just 3 blocks tall. Next, I want to come in along the longer edges and just add in some oak logs to break up the wall that's eventually going to go here. Then I'm going to do the same on the side that faces away from the center of our build, bringing those up to 3 as well. Lastly, selecting a block for the walls, I'm just going to go around and fill in all of these gaps that I've created. Of course, remembering to place the oak down that I somehow forgot. Pro Minecrafter. Now, coming out from the city, you can't actually see that bit sticking up, so I think I'm going to go and add another layer. So by adding 2 more layers, we get a little bit more sticking up like that. Just like that. Now we get this sort of feeling here. Now, my next attention is going to be turned towards the 2 kind of bridges, which I'm completely reconsidering. I think I'm going to knock both out and just go with a central one kind of right here. That way I can connect these 2 buildings via the pathway rather than having these 2 which kind of go over here and don't line up properly. I think it'll look a lot better, which creates this kind of bridge right here, although I'm not overly happy with the final shape. So let's get some work done. And just like that, I've got an archway that I am happy with. We can go through this now into more of the city. Well, you know, the city that is amazingly built. Yes, that city. And just like that, we have the bridge in place. I like the idea of connecting buildings within a city, at least in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're connecting them with awnings, little stalls, or full-blown little arch bridges like this. It just makes the village feel connected, or the city feel connected, in my opinion. I like this. The roof is very simple. We've continued that kind of blue theme out and across the top, so I like it, again, using anvils. So now it's time to turn my attention to the roof here, and I want to try and get this roof in place or something. I'm not sure what I want here yet. I've got to figure it out, so I'm going to go and do some play testing and see what I can come up with. That's going to take me a while, but you guys will see it in the next jump cut. So shall we do it again? 1, 2, 3, and jump cut! Ta-da! Look how quick that was. That was like insanely quick. I deserve a medal for not uploading in a month. Let's go with that medal. Yes, that one. I like that one. So I've kept it rather simple. It is just a storage warehouse. I want this to definitely feel like it's a warehouse, but I also want it to look nice, and I do get that feeling kind of when I'm out here that this does feel like a warehouse, which is what I like. I love this overhang. I am not so sure about this, whether to keep it or not. I'm just going to play with it for a little bit and see if I like it. If I don't, I'll get rid of it. I just feel like there should be something connecting these 2 for maybe stability issues, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, we've got some rough edges. We've got these bits right here. We've got these bits right here. And this guy's got some work to do. My favourite spot. I always seem to start the clips right here, don't I? Well, anyway, I've gone for something very simple. It is on the roof after all. You ain't going to see too much of this from down here. Like when you're down here, you can't really make out the window, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. I've got a whole other building I want to put over there. But I've just gone with some spruce fences, keeping in theme with what we've got going down here. And I've put some enlightened glass behind it. I did toy around with the idea of putting blue glass behind it. And I do kind of like that idea. And I might just get some blue glass and put the blue glass panes sort of behind the enlightened glass, but that's going to take up 2 blocks inside. The enlightened glass does allow us to get light up here. So it does give some passive light and light up the room in there as well, which is good. Now, these 2 bits. I found a new toy that I like. I really like these banners. No, I don't. I'm falling off. I like these banners. Look, I like this now. This looks really, really good. Oh, that is actually a nice view right there. Maybe we need to bring the city. Well, the city does come up here, so maybe that's actually that's a really good view. We definitely need to go up here. I think we might do a bit of a staircase there for the next bit. But if we walk through here, I've done this. I've put an S to signify that this is going to be our storage warehouse. We got some doors on. There's no inside, so we won't look inside of there. I've also put some window planters here just to give some life to this area. Some greenery. I'm thinking of trading out this grass for like a stone or a dirt or something else rather than just being grass. But for now, it'll do. And that's that all done. I did finish off the wall over on this side. If we go all the way around, I kept this very, very simple. Doors, so we can come out here, and a glass so that we've just blended it in. I just wanted something that works, okay? And it works. So I am fairly happy with this. I've just got one little bit left to tackle, and this is this bit right here. I settled on a very simple design, one that brings a pop of color to the area. We've got this repeated on all 4 sides, and I think the only thing that I really need to do now to this building is to put down a floor inside, but I'm going to worry about that in a... There's a hole in the floor! Who put this here? Oh, great, I heard everything. Okay, we'll just close that and pretend that didn't happen. That never happened. You can't prove a thing. Anyway, moving on. There is a second building. This is a storage building, but we also want to move these 2 farms over here, which means I got to come up with a building. I've got an idea in mind. I hope it turns out as well as I'm thinking. But the first things first, just like we did with this one, it's time for a footprint. Once again, I've put on my builder's shoes and I've left a footprint in the dirt. This is it. I'm thinking we're going to have a 1-story building on this kind of section here. This one will be a 2-story building, and then we'll have a tower right here. I do kind of want to go with a roof on the tower rather than leaving it open. So I'm thinking of doing something similar to this, only not as tall, because the roof itself is about as tall as the entire tower. Well, it's about half as tall, but still, it's too tall for me. Thinking maybe something similar to this kind of roof would be a good idea. But we'll tackle the roof when we get to it. I still haven't decided what blocks I'm going to be building this out of yet. But the idea is we'll probably have one area for storage in both where all the items from my mine come in. Then we'll have like an ingot processing area. Maybe this one could be for coal and stuff that go through the sag mill. And then in here I want to kind of have walls of chisels, stoning or chiseling all the different kinds of stone. But it's one step at a time. I just kind of want to get the buildings in place at the moment. So I guess it's time to pick a block palette? Yes, let's pick a block palette. After trying many things, this is what I settled on. And I've got to say, I am quite happy with this design. I really kind of like it. You've got the bells. I don't know why we've got bells there. We've just got the bell outline. I kind of like that little thing on top. We've got this little awning up there with the dark oak behind. And this dark oak isn't exactly set in stone. I'm not entirely certain, but this is where the drawers are going to be. This is where we're going to store the vast majority of the things coming into our ingot farm. So whatever their backside is what we're going to be seeing. I may very well play around with different designs here. I do kind of like the dark oak though, because it matches with the soul brick that we're going to have up here. As you can see, I've already started the outline of the roof. Still got a little bit more to do. I've just got to decide on what the filler block is going to be, what the kind of bit between these two is. I don't know whether to go with something dark, a little bit lighter than the soul brick, or whether to go with something completely lighter like we've kind of got over there. You know, the contrast is really nice. I've got to think about that one. I decided with something lighter and also something that somewhat matched what we've got going on down here in the colors, and I like it. I also forgot to showcase this. We've got the mark of the architect, the little trademark that the same architect over here used. We used blue over here. I've used gold over here. I think it'd be nice to use a variant of different colors across the city. But I want to get this roof put in place, and I need to copy this over here. Oh, this looks so much better with these two in place now. I've got it duplicated. It looks really, really good. I just rebuilt it, actually. And it works. It works brilliantly. Look at it. It looks really, really good. Look. And now the backside is very, very slightly different. It's almost identical, only they're going to be alleyways and connected to other buildings, so I don't see the need to put these lanterns hanging from the front. This is just for light, so the street itself is lit. There's no need for that around here. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to, well, it'll light up the alleyway, but I think we could come up with a bit more alleyway feeling. Yeah, you guys get me. Anyway, I've been thinking about these bits right here while I've been doing these bits, and I think I'm going to go with something different. We've got this nice little roof here, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring this all the way up to just about a block above this roof, and then it's just going to be an open roof, so you can just walk out onto it. Very similar to what we've got going on here. We've got like a little balcony, if you will, a little gangplank, whatever you want to call this place. And I'm thinking this one will be like that, and then obviously the tower will come up, and we'll see what we get there. Now this is what I've come up with. The open roof, as I discussed, we got a couple of banners in there. We got a couple of fence gates in the bells. I've used the bells from here up there just to keep it all sort of linked together. We've got the gold behind these little bits right here. And we've got some windows. I'm not sure about the windows. We are going to be peeking into the back of machines after all, so it might not be the best view. But I was stuck with what to put here, and I thought the windows actually fit. I love these little fence gates that I've been using in the windows as well. They look really, really nice. I'm not going to put them in here, but I am going to keep them up there. We got the banners. For some reason, the saw does not work on dark oak wood, so I've had to kind of go with this. But you can't really tell. You probably would have known unless I pointed that out. So it looks really, really good. Yes, I've used anvils again. Okay. I know. I like my anvils, all right? They look really good as sort of posts, and it ties it in with this. And again, we know that this is the same architect that built this, that also built this, because of his signature sort of strip of metal there. We've got the blue osmium there. We got the gold in this one. So now all I've got to do is repeat this like 4 times. And where is the door going to go, guys? I've got an idea. I think I might put the door here. Also, I might put the door around the side here. I'm thinking on those. Anyway, let me get this done. With those done alone, it really does feel like you're starting to walk through a city until we get to the big open space. We'll turn around and we'll ignore the big open space. It doesn't exist. But just this bit right here, you've got these tall buildings that stretch up. I really, really like them. The only thing left to do is this tower. And I've got a feeling that this architect who built this is going to get a bit of a hand from the architect who built Iris's Keep. He's gonna, well, he's not gonna contract him, is he? Because, you know, Iris's Keep was here when we came here, lore-wise, anyway. But we're gonna use the architectural style. He's using his relative, grandson, I don't know. He's using some sort of relative who helped construct Iris's Keep to construct this keep. Let's get it done. And this is exactly what I mean when I said taking inspiration from the architect over there. We've got kind of a bit of limestone insetted here, and it just breaks the building up a little bit. Now, before I do any more work, I want to get the roof put in place, because I always find the roof to be awkward. I didn't initially want it to be taller than this, but I think it might just be. Now, with the finished product, I've gone ahead and added in the windows and the doors on this side. We've got this kind of roof in place, which I like, topped with a little bit of the black stone that we've got going on here. I kind of like this. I was going to go simple, but ended up being taller than that. I'm okay with that. We've got something simple here. And remember, this is kind of going to be narrow streets. You ain't really going to get too much of a look at this. It's going to be blocked by many of the other buildings. I do really want to put a blacksmith right there, but I'm also thinking maybe a blacksmith near that entrance instead. But that's a future project. Right now we're focusing on these. We've got the bell towers, kind of, or the bell sort of shaped windows with black stained glass in there. I think this looks really, really good. And really, really simple. It doesn't draw too much attention away from the market square, which I like. I definitely did not want to draw attention away from this. I kind of want your eye to be brought to this. It's still my favorite build that I've ever made. But this is definitely getting the feel that I want it to. It feels really grand, like there's something going on inside of it. Just walking down these bits, we get the feeling that we are in a city. So now that we've got the building done, the only thing I've got left to do is start moving things inside. And I'm going to start with the 2 ender quarries, one coming into this storage room and the second coming into this one over here. So I've got the 2 ender quarries set up in the deep dark, and I'm just working on sort of organizing this into these. If you watched the Ingot farm video before, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just basically putting them in the drawers, so we've got one of each. This is going to be the storage house where I store all the ores, the stones and everything, and then we'll process them in the next couple of rooms with another output in that room there, where we store like the ingots that's made from the ores, all the different chiseled stuff from the stones and whatnot. But for right now, I'm just focusing on organizing this chest. So we are at that point where our system is filling up with stone. It has completely filled up the storage drawer up here, which means it's time to shift focus from the ingot factory over to the deep storage unit. Now each cell is going to look something like this. We're going to have room for 4 here, which will be 8, 16, and a grand total of 32, which is the max number of channels that these dense cables can hold. And it seems like I did do this at the perfect height. Look, this roof comes in just at the right bit. We'll probably take it up somewhere to go into the little building that we've got above here. We've got it right here, look. So we'll probably take that up somewhere and connect it up to the ME system up here. We'll focus on connecting the two a little bit later on. For now, I just want to get some of the deep storage in place, and we're going to run these parallel using cable anchors. You just put these in here, and this stops the cables from connecting. You can see they don't connect with these cable anchors on, and that means that you can run the channels parallel to one another. Very temporary for right now, but we do actually have the stone going into the system. It's clearing out of this chest insanely fast. Now, one of the reasons that I chose to redo this build today and move it from there, I don't think I'm going to get rid of those two builds because I do like them. But I think we're going to just repurpose them. The main reason I wanted to do it was because I was getting so many other crap coming into the deep storage unit, or the temporary deep storage unit, and it wasn't filtering out properly. There were issues with it, and I wanted to kind of address those with this. So literally anything that ends up in the deep storage unit is actually going to be filtered into it. So we've got a filter here with just stone on it, sending it in here. So anything else that might clog up the system won't end up in there. We'll have somewhere else for it to go if it cannot end up in here. So the next stage is to get them processing into ingots. I'm going to use the stuff for mechanism. You can do more with those. But I want to convert the basement down here from a floating space into a room. So I've been getting messages in the chat saying, say Happy New Year to certain things. And I don't know what's doing that. It's definitely some sort of mod, but it's firing fireworks. You can see it's firing fireworks. So I'm guessing that somewhere right now, it is New Year's Day. It is 12:30 on New Year's Eve that I am recording this. So Happy New Year. And that's UK time. Happy New Year to everybody who is celebrating a Happy New Year. Okay, you can stop now. You've been going for a long time. Just fireworks, fireworks. I haven't set these off. I have done nothing. This is just Happy New Year. Just like that, we have a basement. But before I can even start focusing on the ingot, I need to address what's going to become a problem very quickly with organizing that. And that's the stone. I should clarify that I have 2 ender quarries going. One is to generate me the raw resources like the ores and the stone and that. And then the second one is to take those resources that I'm getting again and transform them into their counterparts, like iron ore into iron and the stone into all of the chiseled varieties, so that we've got a bunch to build with. We've put in the tower to its purpose. Chisels. We're going to chisel the stone into all its varieties, along with the limestone, the granite, the andesite, the diorite, and everything else that we get. And just like that, we've got another basement in place. I need to freshen this place up. I need to freshen this place up and give it a lick of paint, make it look a little bit nicer than it does. But for right now, I just want to get it functional. Then I'll tidy up all of the loose edges. Now, let's get that stone into the chisel. Okay, I did the basement of the tower. We needed it. Forget this bit, guys. You didn't see this. You did not see this. Close your eyes. Quickly, close your eyes. Close your eyes. You got your eyes closed? Okay, you can look now. Look, I told you. Didn't miss a bit. The chisels are working fantastic. I'm running the conduits at the top to be the ones that go to the storage. So when we come in here and we have all of our machines breaking down our redstone, our coal, and our ores and that, they'll all continue across the top, eventually going down here underground into the system. I've got a pokey hole here. You can see right there into the system. These are connected via trims. So everything is set to go in. These are the ones that we've managed to chisel so far. There are significantly more that need to chisel. I just need to get stone into it. The only trouble that I'm facing is if we go down to my chest, you can see things aren't incoming at the minute. There was a portion of the area that I've set my ender quarry to mine out. It was only a small portion that was dirt. So every now and then it hits the dirt blocks and it just doesn't mine the dirt blocks. So we have to wait for it to process through those, and then it'll get back to mining the good stuff. So I decided to fix the problem in the simplest solution possible. I just went in, and you've got the end posts that you put down, and that tells you where to mine. I picked it up, I moved it past the dirt, I put it down, so it was mining away from the dirt. It was such a simple thing, can't believe I didn't think about it sooner. So now the chest is getting filled up once again. I also went ahead and did the diorite, the granite, and the andesite. Those are now chiseling away. I just need to start processing some of this ore. Well, we've got this place mostly operational. We've got all of the chisels in place. Which means if we come into this room right here, you can see all of the stones that we've got access to. Which does unfortunately mean that the door here has gone. Now I have started working on the ores. Just ignore the holes in the floor for now. I'll fill those in. We've got the coal coming through, and over here we've got some more, which is doing all of these ones right here, and then over here we've got the ones that are doing these ones here. But none of this really does the dense ores, it just does the dense ones that break down to things like cobblestone, redstone, that kind of stuff. We haven't got anything for like the dense iron or anything, so I need to tackle that next, because the chest is kind of filling up. Well, this turned out to be a much bigger job than I initially anticipated. But at last, we have all of our goodies coming in. They're being smelted. They're being sag milled. So there are a few resources that I'm not doing anything with. These ones I can't figure out what to do with. I think you just have to break them with a pickaxe. They don't seem to go through any machine, so I'm shipping them off to where the initial set of resources are coming in. I want to do something with obsidian later on, and the ash for black marble, well, that's all crafting, and we don't have a crafting facility at this building. So I'm simply sending them back here for now, and I've organized it over here so that I know which ones that we are getting duplicates of, because obviously getting these, all of these are coming in from both the first ender quarry and the second ender quarry. So I've kept them separate over here so that I can figure out something to do with them at a later date. Now I'm going to level with you and be honest, there was one more thing that I wanted to do in this episode, and that was to link up both ME systems. But this episode has taken me several days to record, and just organizing the building behind me's internals alone has been 2 days worth of work. So I'm afraid I just don't have the time in this episode to go ahead and link up the ME systems. But in the next episode, I'm planning a bit of an episode where we just go around finishing things that haven't been done. I want to finish off the inside of in here. There's lots of little things that I want to do in the next episode, and I think that's what we're going to do in the next episode. So now, as we head over towards the western side of the market square and leave through the archway, we are greeted by our deep storage facility. Continuing on down the street, we will eventually come to the new and improved Ingot factory, where the resources come in, get processed, and stored in the dark, murky storeroom. So that's going to do it for me for this episode. If you have enjoyed the video, please do consider becoming a channel member. It helps support the channel, and I really do appreciate that. But other than that, like, subscribe. You're the awesome folk. I'm Casey.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game.